Hey friends, good morning. How's everyone doing today? Today we're here at Longwood Gardens for a garden walk and talk. It's going to be a really hot day today, but I thought I'd pop over first thing and show you what's been going on over here at Longwood. So this whole area is also new, and I wanted to stop right here because repeated in front of all of these southern magnolias that they just put in, they have these gorgeous herb gardens, and this is such a great idea. Tons of repetition here in every single bed, traveling many yards down this garden. But here we have lesser calamint. I recognize the Bergarten sage, germander. There's thyme, oregano, rosemary. But this smells so good, and the repetition here is so beautiful, and it's 100% herbs. Fennel there. So this is my first time seeing this. I think this is a new entrance into the public restrooms, but isn't this a great idea? Just to repeat herbs over and over again. It kind of has a formal feel, even though the plants themselves are a little bit more on the loose side. So they've been changing this area a lot. I believe now they're calling this entire section the Idea Garden back here. I thought we would take a walk through the perennial borders. I'm trying to stick in the shade as long as possible. But I always like going through the perennial gardens, and they seem to be looking extra beautiful this morning. Annabelle hydrangeas in bloom, with lamb's ear below. And they've got these great yew hedges separating the perennial garden into different sections. And then they have a bench hiding behind each yew hedge. Oh, gorgeous lilies in bloom at the moment. This variety is called Yellowween. It looks great right next to Annabelle, doesn't it? Some meadow rue right here. Echinacea, Verbena bonariensis in grasses, with some Tradescantia there. I think I see some rose campion right here. Next to that, some Stokes aster. I'm guessing that's a black lace elderberry. Daylilies in bloom now. Chinese anemones will be coming on in about 2 months' time. Beautiful yellow yarrow. Yellow yarrow dries so wonderfully, underplanted with Gara. That yarrow is called Coronation Gold. And then just this beautiful mix of more airy perennials with the meadow rue, the verbena, and then what do they have down here? Oh, sea kale. I love adding that texture of the sea kale. I see a few echinops popping in. And here's a white rose campion. So this garden used to be many long rectangular quadrants, and then they had hornbeams in the center of each garden. But now it seems that this side is a cut flower garden, and I think the other side is an ornamental vegetable garden. So we got our cornflowers here with some poppies. They're doing some really interesting interplanting that I want to take a look at. Here we have borage mixed with eucalyptus and bupleurum. That's really interesting. So you can see they have it laid out in diagonal rows. Oh, here's another really cool interplanting. They're doing Nigella, Calendula, and Gladiolus. I'll be interested to see how that looks together. That probably is a much better choice than what I'm doing, which is the straw flower and Gladiolus. The sweet peas look so gorgeous right now. I love the structure that they're using for this. It looks like split bamboo to support these. Cosmos in the distance there. So they have a path around the cut flower garden that you can walk on. I don't think they want you to walk diagonally through the rows, which is totally understandable. I see we have Mahogany Splendor Hibiscus coming up. I just noticed that they have the sweet peas underplanted with nasturtiums, some variegated nasturtiums, some just your standard. That is such a great idea. Here we've got snapdragons interplanted with dill, dianthus interplanted with Orlea grandiflora. You know what, it's worth coming just to see how they've transformed this garden. I hope I can find a sign to explain their thought process behind this, but the more that I'm looking, every single row is interplanted with either multiple cut flowers or a cut flower and a vegetable. Like here we have dahlias, cosmos, and I see a little bit of feverfew in there too. And even here where they have the cool flowers with the larkspur, the bachelor's buttons, and the poppies, they've lined the bed with a purple kale. That's such a great idea. What a great use of space. I love this garden. It's reminding me a lot of the cut flower garden at Chanticleer, where they do a lot of interplanting over there. Growing in that large pot underneath the birdhouses is vanilla. I think that's foxglove interplanted with Amivasnaga. Genius. This part of the garden leads to the waterfall, and it's one of my favorite pathways to walk down. We have Invincible Spirit right here. Now this is an invincible spirit too, like we have at home in my garden. This is the original Invincible Spirit. The main difference that I see is that the blooms themselves are a little bit smaller. And then I think, and I don't see a tag, but I think we might even have Incredible Blush, which I think you can still buy. I'm not sure. See that one right there? I used to have one in my garden, and I'm afraid it is no longer with us. Many, many Incredibles here. These are underplanted with a stilby. The main flower walk is looking so beautiful, but I especially wanted to concentrate on the moon garden and give you some names here. Down below we have a zinnia called White Wedding. Back behind that, planted in kind of a triangle fashion, is a flowering tobacco. I love how they have the Dusty Miller interplanted with a narrow leaf zinnia. This zinnia is called Crystal White. They have some decorative dahlias there in the back that will be coming on later. Sundance White, Lantana here. Ping Pong White, Gomphrena in the back. Here they've added Japanese holly to the planting. I I see some eucalyptus tucked into the back there. But this is such a peaceful and beautiful garden, and I'm sure it just glows in the evening. I'm assuming these are sun patients since they're planted in full sun, but I don't see a tag on those. And then they even have some incredibles tucked in here. But this is definitely my favorite section of their annual plantings. I don't think I've ever seen this color palette in the center of the main flower walk before. They're doing pink, hot yellow, and purple with a little bit of brown. It says that's a weeping brown sedge, New Guinea impatiens, and Inca 2 primrose marigold. Here we are at the hot borders, where they have yellows, oranges, and reds. Here we are in the main flower walk. I see some big pots straight ahead that Erin from the Impatient Gardener would probably like to see, so we'll have to make sure and stop by to see those for her. I love the Gomphrena interplanted with the Dusty Miller here. Beautiful how it just leads into a wave of petunias, a wave of celosia, angelonia. They already have their ornamental peppers out. And I see zinnias, floss flower. So many beautiful things to see. Wild petunia back there. And some gorgeous salvias. Well, friends, thanks so much for joining me for this garden walk and talk at Longwood Gardens. I want to wish you a wonderful day out in your gardens, and I'll see you sometime soon. Bye, friends.